The fire spread fast. I could barely see through the smoke as I stumbled through the hall, calling my daughter's name. Upstairs, 16-year-old Lily was trapped. Her room was filled with smoke, her lungs already fragile from years of surgeries and breathing treatments. Just that morning, the president of our HOA, Martha Kane, had stood on my doorstep with that same smug expression she always wore when she thought she held power over someone. That hideous elevator on the side of your house needs to be gone by next week, she barked. It violates neighborhood aesthetics. I told her calmly that it was installed legally and was necessary for my disabled daughter. Her response? Then maybe your kind should live somewhere else. No one in the neighborhood knew I had once been a federal judge. After Lily's accident, I left the bench to take care of her full-time. We kept to ourselves. We weren't looking for trouble, but Martha seemed to take our presence as some sort of personal offense. She called the ramp an eyesore, said our ADA-compliant bathroom lowered the value of nearby homes. She didn't care that Lily couldn't walk, couldn't breathe easily, couldn't go to school like the other kids. She just saw us as a nuisance. Then the fine started. Thousands of dollars in citations for imaginary violations. Trash bins left out too long. Improper garden design. Unapproved window tint. The mailbox was smashed twice. We started receiving notes stuffed in our door that said, "Handicapped not welcome." At an HOA meeting, I presented documentation proving that every modification in our home was not only legal, but protected under federal law. Martha scoffed. "Mr. Brooks thinks he doesn't have to follow the rules the rest of us live by. He hides behind his daughter's condition." I stood, visibly shaking. "You are flirting with a federal lawsuit," I warned. "I know the law better than anyone in this room." Martha didn't blink. "Then sue me. My cousin is the district attorney. Let's see how far that gets you." 3 nights later, I woke up to the smell of smoke. The fire started near the rear deck exactly where the elevator was installed. A neighbor's security camera captured Martha creeping across our lawn earlier that night, carrying a red gas can. I wrapped Lily in a wet blanket, held her against my chest, and tried to find an exit. But the flames were everywhere. Her breathing worsened by the second. Just when I thought I couldn't get her out, our neighbor Thomas smashed through the front door with a fire extinguisher. He pulled us out, coughing and crying, just before the staircase collapsed behind us. At the hospital, with Lily unconscious and intubated, I made a call I never thought I would. "Judge Harris, it's Caleb Brooks. I need help." The investigation was swift. Fire marshals found residue from an accelerant. Police reviewed security footage. Martha Kane was arrested the next day. She said she only meant to damage the elevator. How was I supposed to know the whole house would go up in flames? She muttered. She was charged with felony arson and attempted murder. When her cousin recused himself from the prosecution, a special investigator took over. He recognized my name. "Judge Brooks, I was a law clerk in your courtroom," he said. "We're charging her with hate crimes too." In court, I sat where victims usually do, not on the bench. For the first time in my life, I wasn't a judge, I was a father seeking justice. Lily testified at the sentencing. Her voice was weak but steady. "I forgive you, Miss Kane, but I want you to understand, my life has value. Even if I roll instead of walk. Even if my dad had to build a ramp and an elevator so I can leave the house." The judge listened silently. Then he denied bail. Martha Kane was sentenced to 15 years in state prison. Her husband filed for divorce. Her bank account, after a civil suit, was emptied into a trust for Lily's long-term medical care. Our home was gone, but the community responded in ways I never expected. Strangers brought us clothes, food, and money. Builders donated time and materials. One contractor added a therapy pool for Lily. Our new home has wider halls, voice-controlled doors, and a built-in elevator. The HOA board removed every officer and passed new bylaws outlawing discrimination. Martha's name is now shorthand for everything that used to be wrong in our neighborhood. Lily began speaking publicly about her experience. Her talk at a local high school sparked a movement called Access for All. Other HOAs reached out to us for help updating their policies. 6 months after the fire, We held a small event to mark our return. Thomas, the neighbor who saved us, was named HOA president. The entire block showed up with flowers. Even people who used to avoid eye contact came forward to apologize. One family who moved into Martha's old house had a son in a wheelchair. Lily greeted him with a hug. "This is a good place now," she said. "I used to think the greatest power I held was in a courtroom. But it turns out, justice looks different when it's built brick by brick. With kindness." Last week, we got a letter from the prison chaplain. Martha wanted to meet. Lily said yes. Not for revenge, but to show her what grace looks like. Maybe that's the real judgment that matters most.